Are you a veteran that's trying to obtain 100% PNT status? In today's video, I'm going to share with you a technique that you can use to reach that 100% permanent and total status. Now, this is some information you definitely do not want to miss. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dwayne. I got a video for that Kimball, United States Army veteran and retired VA rating specialist. Today's video, how do you obtain 100% P&T status? As a former VA rater that has adjudicated hundreds of claims, I'm going to break it down for you. But before we get into today's video, make sure you click the link in my description section to sign up and get registered for my upcoming webinar. Now, in this webinar, I'm going to explain all the educational services that I provide, what I don't do, and how you can work with me. So, how do you obtain 100% PNT status if you are not, I repeat, if you are not service connected? The first thing that you want to do is contact 800-827-1000. That is VBA's National Call Center, Veterans Benefit Administration. And when you get a hold of them, you want to let them know, hey, I want to do an ITF, intent to file for compensation. Now, that gives you 365 days to submit a prescribed claim form. I just did a video where I went through and explained different prescribed claim forms, so you do not file the incorrect form, right? So it gives you 365 days. Now, once you do that ITF, the next thing I want you to do is get a sheet of paper or get on your computer, open up a Word document. On the right, I want you to list all the conditions that you feel and can prove are related to service. On the left-hand side, I want you to put the following: pre-service aggravation, direct service connection, secondary service connection, increase in service connection. Now, these two, secondary, increase, you're not there yet. Then you have presumptive, 1 year, 3 year, 7 year presumptive. You have Gulf War, Vietnam, also the PACT Act falls under that, and Camp Lejeune contaminated water. Now, this diagram you can find in my book, VA Claim Success, on page 13, and I break it down even further for you, okay? Now, you go to my website, www.kmd89.com. You can purchase the book there. If you do, make sure you put the code TDH15, Tango Delta Hotel 15, to get your discount. If you get it through Amazon, you won't get the discount, but if you're a Prime member, you'll get a lot faster, okay? And I have some really good information in the book, all right? Now, once you do all that, you're going to start getting your diagnoses together. You're going to start building a paper trail if you already haven't done so, okay? Then you are going to submit the claim. Fastest way to do it, quick submit. Guess what? I got a video on that. When you submit that claim, now you're going to wait on the VA to schedule a C&P exam. And I know what you're saying, Dwayne, well, what do I do in the meantime? Well, all those conditions that you listed on the right-hand side of that document, you're going to watch my video, Diagnostic Codes. And you're going to go to the VA's website and you're going to look at each diagnostic code, and you will be able to determine which percentage you feel you meet based on the evidence that you submitted with that claim, okay? So real quick, let's just say you want to claim PTSD for serving in Iraq, okay? That line is going to go from PTSD to direct service connection. I also have a video on my channel where I talk about personal statements / lay statements, okay? And this is how you can work that claim for PTSD for serving in Iraq. I am claiming PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, due to fear of hostile military terrorist activity while serving in Iraq. Please see my attached DD-214, which shows honorable discharge and my service in Iraq. Also, I've included evidence from my personal mental health examiner, which shows a current diagnosis of PTSD. Please schedule me for a C&P exam to obtain a medical opinion and rationale. Look at my video, quick submit, boom, upload that video with additional evidence. Now, let's say when you get your first rating decision, your overall is 70%, okay? So you're over halfway there. Now, you want to rinse and repeat. Think about the conditions that you didn't claim before. Oh, wait a minute. I was awarded the parachute badge. I was an 82nd Airborne, jumped out of planes. Have ankle, knees, back, neck issues. Those are all new claims, okay? You also want to look at what you're currently service connected for and see if you want a higher percentage. Now, the increase in secondary service connection comes into play. And you file that claim, and you should see you go from 70 to 80, 90, or to 100. Now, if you're already service connected, this is what you want to do. You still want to call VBA's, Veteran Benefit Administration's National Call Center, 800-827-1000. You want to let them know, hey, I want to do an intent to file for compensation. Also, since you're service connected, you are going to ask for a disability breakdown letter to include the diagnostic codes. This is something I talk about in my book as well and even show you an example. But don't worry about it. I'm going to show you a couple of examples today, all right? You want to request that they email it to you. They can email it to you. If the person does not want to email it to you, hang up, call back, and get somebody else because they can email it to you, all right? Now, once you get this document, I want you to go somewhere, sit down in a quiet spot, and do this. Let's go ahead and get into it. Slide number 1. Here in slide number 1, this is an example. I've used this in the past. It's in my book. Similar examples in my book. And I use it in some training as well. This is the disability breakdown letter to include the diagnostic codes. Now, it tells you the percentage, the disability, and the diagnostic code. This information is golden. So when you get this information, you're going to look at it. This veteran is service connected for cluster and migraine headaches, PTSD, right knee strain, left knee strain, bilateral hearing loss, lumbar strain, scar. Okay, so here she has 40%, 10%. Not bad. So when you look at this, I want you to look at a few things. One, what can I obtain an increase in? 2, is there anything I could claim secondary? And 3, are there any new conditions, okay, that I can claim? You have to find this information out. So to the far right, you see the diagnostic code, okay? So let's say diagnostic code 8100. You can obtain a 0, 10, 30, and 50. This veteran is at 10%, and you feel you want a 50%. After you've already done that intent to file, okay, and submit your claim, now you're gathering evidence. You look up diagnostic code 8100. Again, don't worry about it. If you go to my YouTube channel, I have a video where I talk about the diagnostic codes, and I talk about it in my book as well. Give you some examples, all right? And you say, hey, I meet that 50%. Then you start building a paper trail, okay? And you can do that for all these conditions, especially for increases, okay? So again, headaches, 10%, PTSD, 10, right knee, left knee at 10, okay? Let's go to slide number 2. Now, here's slide number 2. You did exactly what I just talked about, and your rating comes back, okay? So the PTSD was at 10%. You filed an increase and went to 70. Your migraines, they were at 10%. Now you're at 50%. The lumbar strain was at 0%. Now you're at 40. The scar was at 0%. Now it's at 10%. And then when you did that claim for increasing your back, you submitted evidence showing that you had bilateral extremity radiculopathy of the sciatic nerve, okay? I just did a video on that. What conditions can you claim what conditions can you claim and not have a nexus for? And in that video, I give this example about our lower extremity sciatic nerve, okay? So you filed a claim for increase in your back, you had a diagnosis for peripheral neuropathy of the lower extremity sciatic nerve, and they granted you secondary cervical connection at 10%. One of the new claims was tinnitus, ringing in the ears. That overall rating is now 100%. Okay, so once the veteran obtained this disability breakdown letter, they looked at what conditions I could claim for increase that I meet based on my current evidence, secondary and new. Now, one thing I want you to remember, all claims are different, but this is a technique that you can use, but you have to make sure you have, one, the diagnosis, and two, the evidence to support it. Not all veterans meet the 100%, but for those of you that feel that you do, whether you're service connected or not, this is how you do it. I've rated claims like this as a former VA rater, trained by the VA, and I've seen veterans use this technique to reach that maximum percentage of 100% permanent and total. With that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and as always, share this video with your fellow veterans. Thank you.